Okay, so now we're on lesson 1-1C, multiplying rational numbers. I'm going to start out by giving you the steps for multiplying fractions. For multiplying rational numbers. And step number 1 is you multiply the numerator. Step number 2, you multiply the denominators. And step number 3, you simplify if necessary. So those are your 3 steps. You multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and you simplify if necessary. I'm going to start off by doing an example for from your homework practice 1-1C. I'm going to start off by doing number 2, and I actually have space, I think, at the bottom, so go ahead and do number 2. And it says 6/7 times 1/2. Again, multiply the numerators. 6 times 1 is 6. Multiply the denominators. 7 times 2 is 14. Simplify if necessary. You can divide both of these by 2. And 6 divided by 2 gives you 3. 14 divided by 2 gives you 7. 3/7 is your final answer. And you're done. The next question I'm going to do is number 4. And number 4 says -15. Remember I said to just keep the negative with the denominator, with the numerator, keep it on top, makes it easier for you to work with, times 4/5. This dot that you see just means multiply if you didn't know that already. In pre-algebra they tend not to write the X for multiplication, they use a dot or parentheses, which we'll see later. So -15 times 4 is -60. 16 times 5, I'm not sure, so I'm going to use my calculator. It's 80. And I can definitely divide by 20 to simplify. I don't know if that's the biggest number, but we'll find out. -60 divided by 20 is -3. 80 divided by 20 is 4. And we're done. So what's the biggest number? -3/4 is your answer. And I know you see me figuring out what to divide by very quickly. It's because I've been doing this for a long time. It might take you a little while to figure out what's the big number that I can divide these by. But once you get it, you got it. Okay, so don't be discouraged if it takes you a little longer than me. Next question I'm going to do is number 5. And it says -8 over 25 times 15 over 16. And this is what I was saying before. Notice there's no times, there's no X sign, there's no dot. These parentheses let you know that you need to multiply these two numbers. Whenever you don't see any other operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and all you see is parentheses, it means multiply. Okay, parentheses means multiply. So -8 times 15 is -120. 25 times 16. 25 times 16 is 400. Just want to double check that top one to make sure I did it right. Okay. -120 over 400. I know that I can divide by at least 20. It's probably a bigger number out there, but I'm not sure what it is. So I'm going to do 20 and see what we get. -120 divided by 20 gives you negative 6. 400 divided by 20, I believe, gives you 20. Oops. Yes, it does. And I can divide that by 2. Negative 6 over 20, divide by 2, and I get negative 3. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Final answer, negative 3 over 10. Okay, the next question I'm going to do is, let's see. I'm going to actually skip down to number 14. I want to get all of the regular fractions out the way, then we'll go back and do the mixed numbers. Number 14 gives you this expression, AB. They tell you to evaluate it. They tell you that A equals negative 1/5 and B equals 2/3. So all you have to do is fill in A is negative 1/5 times B. This means multiply again. When there's no other operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, these two variables A and B, that means A times B. Okay, so A times B. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. 5 times 3 is 15. It cannot be simplified, so you're done. You can get negative 2 over 15. And I'm going to do number 15 as well. Number 15, they gave you 3 variables, A, B, and C. So they want you to multiply A times B times C. A we already know was negative 1/5. B we know is 2/3. C is, they tell us C is 7 over 8. So we're multiplying A, B, and C. The rules don't change. You multiply all the numerators. Negative 1 times 2 times 7. When you put that in your calculator, you should get negative 14. 5 times 3 times 8, I do not know, is 120. So you get negative 14 over 120. I can divide by 2, I know. I don't know if that's the biggest number, but we'll find out. And when I divide by 2, negative 14 divided by 2 gives me negative 7. 120 divided by 2 gives me 60. And I know that there are no other numbers that go into 7 and 60, so I'm done. Negative 7 over 60 is my final answer.